Hello, this is Lakshmi Chaudhary, founder and editor of Splainer.in. Today, we're going to be talking about ISIS. Yup, the Islamic State, which everyone had forgotten about until the spectacular attack in Moscow. The rest of the world had moved on thanks to the pandemic, then Ukraine and Gaza. Islamic terrorism, it feels so retro. Is this an ISIS comeback? Also, is it ISIS, ISIL, Daesh? We'll look for answers for these and other pressing questions today. A terrorist by any other name is still a terrorist, but this particular bunch has way too many: IS, ISIL, ISIS, and Daesh. The group first called itself the Islamic State of Iraq and Al-Sham. But the Al-Sham bit was confusing for Western journalists and their audience. It refers to Greater Syria, which the group claims as its caliphate. The closest word to Al-Sham is Levant. That's the old-fashioned name for the region spanning Israel, Jordan, Lebanon, Palestine, Syria, Cyprus, and Turkey. Yep, that would make a pretty impressive caliphate. In any case, Al-Sham was translated to Levant, and we ended up with ISIL, as in the Islamic State of Levant. And that's the acronym used by show-off nerds like Barack Obama. Others stuck to the geography that we already know, so that gave us ISIS, as in Islamic State of Iraq and Syria. Then the group confused matters by shortening its name to Islamic State, and that gave us IS. As for Daesh, that's the Arab acronym used by countries in the Middle East. According to experts, the sound of Daesh is supposedly unpleasant, and it's used to display disrespect to the group. For the purposes of this video, we're going to stick with Islamic State or ISIS. Now we've established that, let's move on for a quick history lesson. ISIS was born in Iraq from the remnants of Al-Qaeda. This is 2004, in the midst of the US occupation of Iraq. The group remained under control as long as the Americans were in town. But in 2011, the US troops withdraw entirely, fulfilling the election promise made by Barack Obama in 2008. 3 years later, ISIS claims Mosul and Tikrit. Its leader, Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, announces the birth of a caliphate stretching from Aleppo in Syria to Diyala in Iraq. The group steadily gains territory, taking advantage of the fall of Bashar al-Assad in Syria. Its success attracts recruits from around the world. And with Al-Qaeda almost wiped out by the US, Islamic State becomes the terrorist rock star. At its height, the group held about a third of Syria and 40% of Iraq. Its leaders established a barbaric low in violence. Gruesome videos of beheadings, mass rapes and massacres, torture and more. They made Al-Qaeda look almost civilized. But in the end, they were driven out of power by years of US airstrikes and the return of Assad, this time with Russian firepower. ISIS had lost 97% of its territory by 2017. In 2019, it lost the remaining strongholds in Syria and Iraq, and everyone declared victory, including Donald Trump. It was balle all around until the US retreated once again, this time from Afghanistan. By the time ISIS had become a network of affiliates spread across the world. It encouraged local groups and lone wolves to carry out attacks in its name, be it in Paris or in West Africa. Khorasan refers to the ancient caliphate that once included Afghanistan, Iran, Pakistan, and Turkmenistan. That's the territory claimed by this group. Its members are from the subcontinent. Yes, that includes India. ISIS-K also attracts recruits from the Middle East and Central Asian countries, especially former Soviet republics with a Muslim population. But its primary base is in Afghanistan, where the group was born back in 2015. It was founded not in opposition to the US or the West. ISIS-K was formed to challenge the Taliban. Where ISIS-K wants a caliphate, the Taliban is very happy to settle for ruling their own country. ISIS has attacked the Taliban as sellouts for cutting a deal with the US to take back Afghanistan. ISIS-K's founder was Hafiz Saeed Khan. also known as Mullah Saeed Orakzai. Here's the interesting bit for Indians. Khan is a former member of the Tehreek-e-Taliban, the Taliban offshoot in Pakistan. He joined ISIS because he lost out on the top job at TTP. As we said before, this is the tale of two exits. ISIS-K fully came into its power only after the US retreated from Afghanistan. The group conducted only 11 known attacks in 2020. But in 2021, as the Taliban advanced on Kabul, ISIS-K carried out 77 attacks in just Afghanistan, a killing spree that peaked in May with the bloody attack on Kabul airport during the last days of the US pullout. They killed 175 civilians and 13 US soldiers. We are paying attention to ISIS-K now because they hit Russia, a country that the West cares about. Hence the global headlines. But they have been responsible for many spectacular attacks before Moscow. These guys don't care who they kill or when. Their attacks are always audacious and their targets unexpected. In 2020, they picked a Sikh Gurudwara in Pakistan, followed by a maternity clinic at a Kabul hospital. In 2023, they went after a Shiite mosque during Friday prayers in Afghanistan. Their most recent feat? Killing 95 people at a heavily guarded funeral for the beloved leader of the Iranian Revolutionary Guards. Military and global security experts have been issuing dark warnings about ISIS-K for years. Just this January, General Michael Correa, head of US Central Command, told Congress that the Taliban have not been able to control the group. He specifically said they have the capacity and will to conduct spectacular external operations outside Afghanistan. But Iran and Russia were alerted by US intelligence of an imminent attack, but ignored the warnings. This summer, all eyes will be on Europe, where Paris will be hosting the Summer Olympics. It's exactly the kind of heavily guarded, high-casualty target that ISIS-K likes. Security analyst Colin Clark says there's a certain sense of terrorism fatigue after 20 years of the global war on terrorism. People don't want to think about it, they don't want to talk about it, and they don't want to prepare for it. But the terrorists themselves are not feeling any kind of fatigue. They continue to train, plan, and execute, and Moscow is damning proof of that. That's it for this edition of our Explainers. We make it easy and fun to be a well-informed human being in less than 15 minutes, without rants or jargon or dumbing anything down. So be sure to use the link below to sign up for a free sub. And that's all I've got for now. I'll see you next time.